Good day, class. Today we're going to be talking about World War One. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about how it actually started, basically the stuff beforehand, the event that caused World War One, and then the repercussions of it. The next lesson would be basically the end, what happened, and how it ended. All right. But today we're going to start off with how it happened. Okay. Now, if you don't have the packet, that's fine. Again, use regular sheet of paper. Just be sure to put on the side warm up, notes, question, answer, things like that, so I can see it clearly. All right. So without further ado, let us begin. So here is your warm up. Um, Analyze the three pictures. Okay. What do you see? Okay. Uh, So we have two of them from the United States and one of them from Britain. What do you notice about these pictures? Also, the second part is, what do you think this artist is trying to say? And what do these three uh, posters, propaganda posters, have in common? Right? Really look at it. This is not really a trick question. You just have to look deeper into it. Um, like I said, these two of them are Americans, which are on both sides. The one in the middle is from England. Uh, but look at it, really analyze it, and see if you can find out what all three basically have in common. Okay, there is something. All right, so try to figure it out. All right, so here's the thing about World War One. Um, there is nothing really that can be pinpointed to say this thing that happened years before is what caused it. There was a lot of different things, but all historians can agree on one thing. That one event basically was the catalyst for World War One, and that's an assassination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the bad blood that caused this all to happen to basically boil to the point where a person is assassinated. Okay, so in 1908, Austria-Hungary basically takes over Bosnia, um, and I mean they just straight took over. They didn't, you know, they didn't ask for permission, no allegiance or anything like that. They just straight took it. They said that's ours, and that ticked off a lot of Bosnians. And a new nationalist movement started in Bosnia. Now remember, nationalist means basically means you're proud of your country, proud of your heritage. You know, you are number one, you're the strongest, the greatest, things like that. So the thing is, the nationalists basically wanted to unify under southern Slavic countries, right? They wanted all the other Slavic countries to unite. Bosnia, Bulgaria, Serbia, Macedonia, you know, they all wanted them to unite and be like one whole um, country in a sense, you know, at the very least, their own government, because you know they all the same type of people. Now, in 1914, the Slavic nationalists decided to kill Archduke Ferdinand because he was the heir to the Hungarian Austro-Hungarian Empire. Now, he wasn't the leader, he wasn't the king of it. He was just next in line. Okay. Now, the person who was in charge of it, of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was actually Archduke Ferdinand's uncle. Now, his uncle didn't like him. Okay. And the Bosnian Serbians, nationalist people, they didn't like Archduke Ferdinand. So you have Archduke Ferdinand, who's right in the middle, and you have his family, you know, his uncle on one side, and then you have the nationalists from uh, Bosnia and Serbia on this side, and they both hate the same person. So it's not going to end very well for Archduke Ferdinand. Now, if you look on the map where it says that BH, that's where Bosnia would be, and then Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania, Macedonia is on the little M right there. Uh, so that's where they all are in the map. So the only supporter that Archduke Ferdinand had really was the German Kaiser. That was Emperor Wilhelm or William II. Now they were kind of buddy buddies. They stood one another. That picture to your right, that is Archduke Ferdinand. Okay. Now Ferdinand understood the Serbian argument, right? He understood that the Serbians wanted to expand and that the Bosnians wanted to have their own independence. He got that. He would be considered like a moderate nowadays. He is somewhere in the middle and he looks at the issue. He doesn't go from see it from one side or another. He sees it, okay, here's a problem. Let's look at the whole thing and see if we can come to a compromise. See if we can find an understanding instead of just saying you're right, you're wrong. Things like that. Or looking at it from your own perspective. How are you going to benefit? Things like that. No, he tried to see things both ways and tried to make it as even and as fair as possible. Now, his uncle was not like that. Okay. Uh, like I said, the uncle, he knew that if Serbia was allowed to expand, then other countries would be like, well, we want that too. you know. And if one, Bosnia, let's say they gain their independence, then other countries that they have will basically say, well, we want our independence. What makes Bosnia, so special that they get to be their own country? What makes Serbia so special that they can expand and we can't? So that was the thinking of Archduke Ferdinand's uncle. If you give them an inch, they're going to want a mile. You know, so that was his thinking. Now, the nationalist group, they basically had a name. The assassins had a name, and it was called the Black Hand. And the Black Hand is prepared to do something that's going to change the world forever. All right. Now, on June 28th, 1914, Ferdinand is in the city of Sarajevo. Now, he's with his wife, Sophia. And the thing is, the Black Hand assassins, they're basically scattered in the streets. Some have knives, some have bombs, some have pistols, you know. And the thing is, they're on their car, right? They're going driving along, the chauffeur guy is driving them. And what ends up happening is one of the Black Hand people throws a grenade, well, bomb. And the thing is, the driver sees it. And his quick thinking is he punches the gas and bam, they take off. Well, the bomb explodes and it doesn't damage the car. Ferdinand and Sophia are safe, but when it explodes, it does injure civilians, and they're taken to a hospital. The driver of Ferdinand, he takes Ferdinand to his scheduled meeting, which was with a bunch of local officials in Sarajevo. Now they meet. They're talking about, oh man, yeah, we just had an assassination attempt, this and that. And the thing is, the officials are like, hey, you know what? Let us take you around the city and give you a tour. Ferdinand says, no, 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 no. See, there were some people injured back there, and I would like to go see them. He wanted to make sure that they were okay, things like that. So he tells his driver, let's go. You know, uh, but the thing is, the driver doesn't know the way to the hospital. Now, that picture to your right, that is actually the last known picture of Archduke Ferdinand and Sophia uh, to exist. There's After that moment, it's the last time people see them alive, and that's the last picture that captures them alive. So here's the thing: Ferdinand's driver is driving, and he makes a wrong turn, and that wrong turn just so happens to go along a road where there's like a little bar. And at that bar, there's a Black Hand assassin who's having a drink, and he sees Ferdinand right there. Now, his name is I'm probably gonna kill this Jarillo Presepi. Now he's only 19 years old, and the thing is, as soon as he sees Ferdinand, it's like, wow, there he is. Oh man! And so he takes out his gun and he shoots. Pop, 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 pop. Right? He shoots Ferdinand a couple times, and Sophia as well. They both die within an hour. All right, they do not live, and it's their death, especially Archduke Ferdinand's, that really is the beginning of the World War One. Now, this is where things become really kind of like you know, kind of like high school in a sense. You get your friend, someone hits your friend, you're gonna jump in, and their friend's gonna jump in, and then their friends, and all of a sudden you just have a big old mess. That's basically what happens here. Okay, so look at the map, follow along with me. Austria-Hungary asks for support from Germany, in its war against Serbia. And basically, Germany's like, yeah, we got you. Serbia then tells Russia, hey, ally, we need your help. They get it. Then, because of that, Germany's like, oh, well, Russia wants to get in on this fight? Fine, we're going to declare war on you. So they declare war on Russia. Russia then asks their allies, France, hey, help us out here. Get these guys from both sides. Russia agrees. Or, sorry, France agrees. And they join in the war. Germany's all like, well, heck, you want to fight us on this side? Fine, we'll fight you. So Germany declares war on France. Now Britain's like, whoa, 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 hey, don't be picking on my friends here. And then they decide to join up and they declare war against Germany. Now, Austria-Hungary, they're like, hey, where are all these countries, trying to get on my guys? So Austria-Hungary declares war on Russia, and then France and Britain say, you know what, Austria, you done messed up here. Now we're going to declare war on you, and Austria-Hungary declares war on them. Okay, so now you have all these countries, Russia, Germany, Austria-Hungary, Serbia, France, Britain, all basically going against each other within a matter of I believe it's like a week. They're all declaring war on one another. So it's a buildup. And this is the first time in the whole history of the world that different countries are going to fight against each other. Now, this question is a hypothetical one, and it's do you think that if Archduke Ferdinand wasn't assassinated, that he would have at least tried to negotiate with the Serbians and allowing them to expand and allow Bosnia to have their independence? Why or why not? Justify your answer. Right? Now, remember I did say that he was considered moderate, but do you think that if he was actually the king, the actual emperor, that he would have been like, you know what? Actually, this is not a good idea. Or do you think he would be like, you know what? I said what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do what I said. Be a man of his word. So what do you think? Do you think the power would have got to him and he would have been like, you know what? Realistically, we can't do this, Or do you think he would have kept to his word? All right. So the writing prompt is on the bottom. If you need help starting it off, just answer it. And remember, the only way you could be wrong on this is if you don't answer, you copy off somebody, or if your answer is so left field, it makes no sense whatsoever. Okay? But other than that, you're good. Just justify it. Okay? So that's the end of this video. I hope you learned something new. So on Wednesday and Thursday, you guys are going to learn about the rest of World War I and basically how it ended. Okay, so can't wait to see you in class. Take care. Have fun.